real quick, I got a special announcement for you guys. Right now, we're running a special promotion over on poodlecfb.com. If you use code WINTER with a capital W, you will receive 40% off the annual deal, which basically locks you in from now and the majority of CFP 26. It's one of the fastest growing communities, so you definitely want to get in now so you'll be locked in for next year. And if you want to stick to the monthly plan, we're running 20% off on the monthly if you use code WINTER2025 with a capital W. So make sure to check it out. The codes and links will be down below in the description and in the comments. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Poodle back with another CFB 25 video. In today's video, I'm going to go over the best positions to recruit on offense. So we're going to break this down position by position, going through data and science. All the data is being pulled from our spreadsheets over on poodlecfb.com. All of this has everything broken down from ratings and their weight, such as route running accounts for 70% of a wide receiver's rating, and so on and so forth, which is why I scrambled the quarterback. You may see that the ratings that they improve the fastest don't hold much weight as shown in the spreadsheet to their actual overall, which is why you'll see scramblers increasing things, but you never see their rating get that high, and that's basically the reason. So make sure to check out poodlecfb.com. If you use code WINTER down below, we are going to be extending these promos because we are now at 300 plus active members. So code WINTER is still going to be active. Code WINTER gets you $40 off the annual plan, and code WINTER2025 gets you 20% off the monthly. Come join now. You lock yourself in now, and you lock yourself in for the CFP 26 season with a great discount that's recurring. So make sure to check that out. You don't want to miss it. We have a great community over there in Discord and leagues as well. So check it out. Let's get into this. So I'm going to take you back to the roster and go position by position and go through. So right, for quarterbacks, there's field general, there's improviser, and the scrambler. You'll notice that with a 5-star scrambling quarterback, they won't even grow. They usually don't grow higher than a field general improviser who are at 4-star. So for quarterback, the best ones are going to be field general and improviser. Those are positions you want to be like pretty much prioritizing when doing this, and there's a reason for this. So field general quarterbacks, one of their fast buckets, they have 4, right? And like I always tell you, if you want to do the science yourself, to check out buckets, you look at their ratings over here on the left. Accuracy, see how he's almost done with accuracy and there's only 4 skill point costs to upgrade it? That means it's a fast bucket because he's almost done, or he's more than halfway, and it's still going to be cheap to upgrade. And then if you go on down, you want to see a slow one, health. So health, he's at the same spot, right? He has approximately 6 bars completed. This one's 10, this one's 4. That tells you that accuracy is a fast bucket, health's a slow one. The reason field generals and improvisers grow quicker overall wise and relative to the rating spreadsheet we have that shows you the ratings relative to their actual overall, that's going to be that overall plays, or accuracy plays, a huge role, like 50+% in the rating that a quarterback has. So if a quarterback has, or a field general quarterback specifically, has a 95 plus accuracy, it's likely the quarterback's gonna be 95 plus overall. If they have a 20 accuracy and they have everything else 100, they're probably still going to be a 60 to 70 overall. And that's going to be why archetypes are so heavily skewed by fast buckets. And they're just going to upgrade accuracy as they're, in this game, they usually upgrade their cheapest thing in most instances. So accuracy still being a 4 means it can just keep getting into the 90s relatively quickly in comparison to the 12s, the 10s, and even the 9s here, right? The only ones that it'll probably get first is elusiveness, but that's only going to be one upgrade. Then it's going to be almost as expensive. IQ, same thing. So that's why accuracy is going to keep being upgraded. So at quarterback, you want to be going with improvisers or field generals. Now, running back technically has 2, but I'm only going to go with 1. So elusive back is going to be the best one. It has 4 fast buckets. Again, you can do this yourself one by one. Eventually, I'll stop doing this just so I don't wear you guys out with it. But if you look, elusiveness is a fast bucket. Hands is a fast bucket. IQ is a fast bucket. Route running is a fast bucket. Power and quickness are going to be the slower buckets here. But a power back also has 4, right? 4 just like this. But power backs are going to be slow. And one of the things that do matter for running backs, halfbacks here have basically fast and everything they need. Now, I don't mind you getting a power back because they do have 4 fast buckets, but elusive is going to take the cake here. Now, wide receivers are another interesting one. So deep threat, route runner, and physical wide receivers all have 4 fast buckets, which means they all grow pretty fast. But from my experience, typically, I find that route runners are the ones that could just randomly blow up, but they're very dependent on their skill caps. So if a route runner has a almost uncapped like this, like 1 cap, maybe none, if their skill caps are high like that and they have unlimited potential, the route runners are going to grow the quickest. But in most cases, it seems like deep threats and physicals grow pretty well as well. So when it comes to wide receivers, in terms of the science behind it, they all grow pretty well. I say route runners have like the highest ceiling or the quickest middle growth potential, but that's based on their caps. I'd say deep threats typically grow pretty well regardless. In my opinion, I love physical wide receivers this year. I think they're really good. Physical and deep threat and route runner, they're all really good. I wouldn't have too much of a preference here scientifically because route runners are so dependent on their caps. That's hard for me to say that's always the case. But wide receivers, you're pretty safe to take what you want. I like physical ones. Personally, I think deep threat are good, but I think you kind of want one of each. So in that case, I wouldn't focus too much on the data there. Now, tight ends are interesting. Vertical threats are absolutely awful in every way. They have fast buckets, but their skill caps are always awful. So get away from the data on this one. don't get vertical threats. Almost always they're horrible. You're better off doing a position switch here, like switching over a wide receiver, a physical wide receiver over to tight end. In terms of tight end, the quickest is actually going to be a blocking tight end. So blocking tight ends grow like crazy. If you ever get a blocking tight end, they're the only tight ends by like year 5 through 10 that you're going to see in like a 90+ overall for no reason. They never sell the field. They don't do anything. Blocking tight ends, because blocking has a huge weight on the rating of a tight end. So when their blocking goes up, and that's another reason why if you move a tackle or a guard or a center or whatever over to tight end, you'll see them just be these elite tight ends. Blocking grows the quickest, but they don't really have much of a use. So if you're focused on team overall or you run a lot, get a blocking tight end. If you want a tight end that can actually play the position tight end, you want to go possession. So possession's a notch below blocking. They won't grow as quickly, but you'll see possession tight ends in like the 80s, high 80s, maybe low 90s if you're lucky. But typically they'll max out around mid 80s, low 90 if you're lucky. But blocking can get all the way up to 99. It's absolutely absurd. But possession tight ends give you the mix of they can block decently well, they get sure hands and all that, and they can actually play the position and go out and catch some balls. So that is why you want to be very focused when it comes to tight end on the fact that vertical threats are just going to be awful. So when it comes to offensive linemen again is where I'm going to say it's personal preference, but there is a scientifically best one. So that's going to be power. Power offensive linemen do have the most fast buckets, and you'll actually notice that a lot of times power ones are actually the highest rated ones in the game. But the thing with power again is that not everyone runs a power scheme. A lot of people may be more inclined to run a zone scheme. So it's really personal preference, because even if you have the highest rated power guards or power tacklers or centers, if you just go ahead and you're more of a passer, that's not really helping you. If you're more of a zone runner, it's not exactly helping you. So take that as you will, but as you see, like, you'll see power more towards the top. Now take this with a grain of salt, because do remember this is year 1 rosters, so regular day players are coded with certain caps and certain ways already, so those guys aren't really indicative of the truth. So what I mean by that is, if you go here, you'll notice that field generals and improvisers are all near the top because their ratings skew that way. But with other positions like a Travis Hunter or guys that are made specifically a certain way, they could be whatever archetype they want. They could be 99 overalls. But you'll see field general and improvisers typically will take the top. The nearest scrambler is going to be an 86 on Virginia Tech. Now that's mostly because I think in the year 1 rosters they did make a lot of the scramblers more improviser based, such as Jalen Milroe. But anyways, neither here nor there. Offensive lineman, power is going to grow the quickest and grow the most organically. And that's what I always say is key to keep in mind, is that when I say these things, you can build another position, but it's like you're working against yourself. If you go with these archetypes that are the best positions to recruit, the best archetypes to work on, these guys will grow without you doing anything, which makes it much easier to just go ahead and get the ideal coach build, motivator, tier 3 architect, and just play the game. And by playing the game, they'll become beasts. And if you play really well with them or actually get them on the field, they'll grow even more. This is just an easy way to get your team really good. You'll notice, especially if you've been playing this game since about July when it first came out, you'll notice that a lot of positions that you've like, oh, I love Scrambler, oh, I love that position, you'll notice like they never grew, and it's hurt your team. Once you start focusing on the ideal archetypes, you're going to see your overall just skyrocketing and your players skyrocketing. And because they get higher overalls, that means that architect and motivator help even more, because let's say field generals can get to 95. If you can use architect and you can use motivator to skill gap or skill cap break, you can actually get up closer to the 95-99 range when a scrambler really caps at 90. So even with all that stuff, you'll be lucky to get them to a 92-93. So the ceiling's higher and the floor, which is what's super important about this. So those are basically the best offensive ones to do. I will be making a video going over the best defensive ones and then the worst of offense and worst defense. I didn't want to put them all together because I would have just rushed through each of them and not really given you in-depth explanations for each. But if you just go through, like I said, you can kind of see real quick, like elusive back. You'll notice that most of what I say, even with regular day players, it's a little skewed, but you'll notice that deep threat, physical, route runner, like these are going to be more mixed, but route runner, if they're good, is going to dominate the top tier. And that's a great way to cross-reference my work. And you'll just notice that. Now, vertical threats are one of the weird ones because in years 1 through 4, all the pre-made vertical threats are good. After that, you quite literally can't build a vertical threat. And that's what I mean by you can use it, but also have to understand there's some caveats to regular day players. For instance, Garrett Nussmeier has no caps for LSU, like 0 caps, when any other field general quarterback started wouldn't be that uncapped. So some of the current day players are just a little skewed in a way they were built. So don't take it exactly, but it'll be even easier to look at this when you're like in year 5 through 10, and you can just look at actual recruited, scouted players, and you'll be able to easily see like what the skew is on things. Even on your own roster, you'll quickly notice. But guys, about it for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you want the entire spreadsheet and the entire breakdown so you can see it for yourself, as well as be able to just check out your own players and see what you want to do with them, make sure heading over to poodlecfb.com. Like I said, we are at 300 active members. To celebrate, we're going to keep the code running. I'm going to keep it running. The discount's great, $40 off the annual with code WINTER. 20% off the monthly with code winter2025. Make sure you check it out. You lock yourself up for the annual or the recurring monthly discount, and you're pretty much set for CFP25 and CFP26. So make sure to take advantage. Come join the Discord chat. We're having a great time over there. It's just been great, the information sharing. We're going to dominate and crack every code in CFP26, so make sure to check it out. The link will be down below in the description and in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. I'm out. Peace.